Welcome to our presentation on Consumer Insight. We're going to relate this to the L'Oreal brand. Hi, my name's Sophie Roff and I'll be introducing and closing the presentation.
My name's Derbyshire and I will be discussing perception. My name's Nyquole and I will be discussing attitudes and persuasion.
My name's Wainwright and I will be talking about the decision-making and involvement process.
L'Oreal is known across the world. It has many brands in its brand portfolio. For more than a century, L'Oreal has been involved in the ventures of beauty. The small company, founded by Eugene Scholar in 1909, has become the #1 cosmetic group in the world. L'Oreal 2018. They still have many competitors that they have to compete with constantly. One way they do this is by introducing new technologies, such as purchasing Modif Face. By ensuring that they know where they are in the market and how they are perceived, it allows them to compete with these brands. In this presentation, we'll go further into these points and how L'Oreal achieves this. Bassin 2018 says that L'Oreal's mission is to enable all individuals to express their personalities, gain self-confidence and open up to others, and that their vision is to win over another 1 billion consumers around the world by creating their cosmetic products that meet the infinite diversity of their beauty needs and desires. Both their mission and vision help to see how the company is perceived and where they want to be against their competitors. As we can see here, L'Oreal Finance 2018 says that L'Oreal is constantly growing. So far in 2018, they've had very strong growth of the new market and further improvement in profitability. L'Oreal Paris is competing well against their competitors. Their main competitors are Johnson, Gillette and Nivea, with Johnson's having a higher brand value than L'Oreal Paris. I'm now going to pass you over to Charlotte, who's going to discuss decision-making and involvement.
Michael R. Solomon 2017 says that every consumer decision we make is a response to a problem. Solomon et al. Says consumers tend to make one of 3 main decision types based on the level of effort gone into it. Extensive problem solving relates to our self-concept and the outcome may be risky in some way. Limited problem solving, where motivation to search for information or great need to evaluate is far lower, and routine response behaviour. Looking into the study of involvement by Solomon et al., we can see how both processes can apply for the same product depending on the consumer and situation of purchase. For example, a routine purchase with low involvement decision making would be carried out by a consumer who regularly uses the L'Oreal True Match foundation, whereas a higher involvement may occur when consumer is buying a new foundation, as there would be far more research and evaluation between products. Whilst this is a much higher involvement, it may not be seen as extensive decision-making to most, as the product is very low cost, which reduces the overall purchase risk. Smigin et al. Says variety-seeking behaviour provides an important opportunity for businesses, as consumers may be prepared to experiment because of the cost of disappointment is low. L'Oreal use TV advertising. This is an effective form of advertisement due to the reach, but one of the primary threats to TV advertising, beyond viewing figures, is second screening. 65% of TV viewers usually do something else on a device when adverts are playing, rising to 78% among 16 to 24-year-olds, found on a Mintel report on TV viewing habits. YouTube has become a big platform for advertising through paid ads, opinion leaders and formers. L'Oreal utilises this, which can be far more of a beneficial method to their target market. Guapta et al. Found that the beauty segment on YouTube has grown with a rate as fast as 50% in views from January 2014 to April 2015. eConsultancy.com states that this growth is said to be down to the selfie generation, with today's consumers increasingly looking to visual social media platforms for beauty inspiration. Videos such as product reviews can be a big influencer. Degani and Tuna say purchase intention depended largely on the recommendations and brands' values that other consumers have shared on social channels. L'Oreal also use YouTube pre-roll ads, but Elkin found 90% skip pre-roll ads. In addition to this, some ads don't give the option to skip. This in turn may instantly create a negative opinion from the viewer towards the company. Cookies can be used to target ads to help avoid this problem. Connecting with consumer emotions is a key way to sell low-involvement products. L'Oreal's European CMO talks about this, saying, "We are traditionally a company that has been focused on product, and we know how to advertise great products. Emotions are there, but less at the centre of that communication. What we are doing now is trying to focus on new sorts of content that can trigger this type of impact." L'Oreal created an app which uses facial mapping technology to allow consumers to try on different products in real time. The app allows much greater involvement between brand and consumer and will affect the decision-making process greatly due to its services of try before you buy and much more. Robertson says the level of involvement which consumers bring to bear in their decision-making has been shown to be associated with varying levels of brand loyalty. Increasing involvement with consumers can help create brand loyalty, and shown are a select few ways that this can be done. Just in one marketing campaign by L'Oreal, The Power of Diversity, many techniques are used. Using celebrities to tell a story consumers can relate to may trigger emotions and a connection with the brand from the viewer. Max Factor have alike also designed an app to increase involvement with users, where they can scan an item to get a deeper insight to it, with how-to-use videos and reviews included too. The app was built after Max Factor found that women are increasingly using their mobile phone at point of purchase to validate their choices. Laura Murciano, Global Brand Manager at Max Factor, told Marketing Week that while 70% of women research online before buying beauty products in store, 90% of purchases still happen offline. The Max Factor app is bringing readily available information across the net to one place, whereas the L'Oreal app offers something more unique and original, which provides a more personal experience. This may increase the likelihood of those online purchases that happen. I will now hand you over to Megan, who will be talking about perception.
According to Solomon et al., perception is the process by which physical sensations such as sights, sounds and smells are selected, organised and interpreted. One theory outlines that how and whether we notice a stimuli is dependent on our perception. Stimuli is received through our five senses. Perception is influenced by many factors that can affect consumer behaviour, such as beliefs, values and cultural differences. Therefore, perception can vary between people, and a brand and product can become something that is positively associated with one person, but negatively associated with another. There are 3 stages to the perceptual process. This includes exposure, attention and interpretation. Stage 1 of the process is the exposure. According to one theory, exposure ensures that the stimuli is in the appropriate place for consumers to have access to it. However, a person can be exposed to hundreds of stimuli a day. Therefore, it is important for marketers to ensure that it is eye-catching and engages with the target audience. According to one theory, consumers can limit their own exposure to a stimuli. This is known as selective exposure. A form of selective exposure also includes perceptual vigilance. This is when a consumer consciously or unconsciously filters stimuli for relevance. For example, if a consumer is looking for a new foundation to use, they will only allow themselves to be exposed to adverts regarding foundations and ignore advertisements about other products such as mascara. Exposure to a product can depend on their sensory threshold. There are 4 types of sensory thresholds: absolute, recognition, terminal and differential threshold. An example of differential threshold was shown in L'Oreal's True Match foundation, where there was a change in shape to a taller, slimmer bottle. According to one theory, size and shape of an object are important aspects to consider for marketers, as although large and out-of-the-ordinary products can attract us, small things can also focus our attention. Marketing messages are more effective when they use more than one sense. L'Oreal has used this in their Elvive range advert, where they use both visual and sound using the well-known Camila Cabello song. Stage 2 is when attention is required as the sensory is overloading. It refers to the degree of focus of the consumer on stimuli. Guerrilla marketing was used by L'Oreal as a very successful strategy to grab consumers' attention. It can be defined as the use of unconventional means to promote a product or service. This form of marketing uses unexpected and creative tactics to reach consumers. In 2015, L'Oreal targeted a guerrilla marketing campaign at their target audience of young women to promote their new waterproof mascara. They treated 100 women to a makeover and then a free movie that they knew would make them cry. Before and after photos were taken so that the women could see that despite their tears, they looked as beautiful as before, thanks to the new waterproof mascara. This is an example of guerrilla marketing, as the marketing was different and creative. The technique created involvement as it caused a big reaction on social media and an increase in the amount of interaction the target audience had with the brand. The guerrilla marketing was successful while still maintaining a professional image which promotes trust in the brand. This strengthened the brand representation and promoted the new product to a wider audience. Benefit is more of a high-end brand compared to L'Oreal. According to Leveson J.C. 2007, guerrilla marketing does not rely on the brute force of an outsized marketing budget. Instead, they rely on the brute force of a vivid imagination. The example shows how Benefit has used a low-cost method of guerrilla marketing, which is different and creative and is able to grab the attention of their target audience. The brand supplied airports with Benefit's vending machines containing the brand's most popular makeup in travel-size packaging. This is a successful way of helping customers who have forgotten makeup products while they are travelling, and is also appealing and captures the attention of consumers who have money to spend on treats in the airport as they go on their holidays. This guerrilla marketing campaign seems less focused on gaining the attention on social media, like L'Oreal's campaign, but aims more to grab the attention of the thousands of people who pass it in airports who will be surprised by it and want to purchase a product. Nyquole will now talk about attitudes and persuasion.
Attitudes and persuasion. According to Solomon et al., an attitude is a last and general evaluation of people, including oneself, objects, advertisements, or issues. Other authors such as Sisman and Piacenti see it as its simplest level. An attitude is made up of what you think, feel, and do. Katz's functional theory of attitudes. There are 4 attitude functions identified by Katz, and these include utilitarian function, value expressive function, ego defensive function, and knowledge function. As identified by Solomon et al., when attitudes are formed to protect the person from either external threats or internal feelings, this is an ego defensive function. As seen in these 2 L'Oreal ad campaigns, it is clear to see L'Oreal have identified the dominant function that the product serves for the consumers, and has therefore been able to highlight the key benefits of using the product within their advertisement campaigns. According to a Mintel report 2015, 39% of women agree young adults should use the products to delay the onset of ageing, and 52% would like to look younger than their age. At a total level, 21% of women have noticed 6 or more changes to their body, skin, or hair as they age. A statistic taken from a 2015 Mintel report highlights the external threats that men and women feel towards aging skin, which states that 70% of people think that society is too focused on youthful skin and therefore will use products to treat signs of aging, rather than 16% who think this but don't use anti-aging products. According to Solomon et al., ads relevant to these functions have more favourable outcomes to both the ad and the products. For example, in L'Oreal's messages, they highlight that the anti-aging creams can reduce the 15 signs of aging. Haider's balance theory. Balance theory considers 3 elements that a consumer would consider together. These 3 elements form a triad. Perceptions of these elements can be either positive or negative, and consumers are motivated to alter these to form a balance and to make relations consistent. L'Oreal address Haider's balance theory within their advertising messages through the use of celebrity endorsements within their campaigns. Within the anti-aging range, L'Oreal used actress Helen Mirren, aged 73, and Andie MacDowell, aged 60. According to Solomon et al., the use of celebrity endorsements is one way in which marketers hope the star's popularity will transfer to the product. As shown in the example, a person may feel negatively about L'Oreal's Revitalift product. However, by adding multiple Golden Globe-winning actress Helen Mirren to the triad, it creates an additional positive element, which in turn will motivate consumers to balance the inconsistency. L'Oreal's competitor number 7 have their range of age-defying skincare, and within their advertising messages, they highlight that the product delivers clinically proven results for every woman of every age. Their 2014 ad campaign involves 4 middle-aged women talking about their products. This is a useful way of incorporating Katz's ego-defensive functional theory of attitudes, by highlighting how good the product has made them feel. Within the number 7 2018 ad campaign, they used celebrity and 4-time surfing world champion Lisa Anderson, aged 49, to promote their anti-aging products. This is therefore an application of Haider's balance theory. However, according to SurveyMonkey 2018, 21% of millennials have been swayed by a celebrity endorsement to make a purchase, compared to only 4% of those over 35. Therefore, it can be seen that number 7 adverts with the general public talking about the benefits would be more effective advertising campaign than L'Oreal's use of celebrity endorsements. And now I will pass you back to Sophie, who will conclude the presentation.
Overall, L'Oréal shows that it uses a variety of customer insight techniques to have a competitive advantage against their competitors. They expose their customers to the product and ensure that the brand's message and objectives are always clear. They use new ways of advertising and technology to set them apart and ensure that everything is done to make the customers aware of the brand and that they are perceived correctly.